Good afternoon from Augsburg in Germany to our webinar from CADENAS and Visual Components.
Good afternoon from Visual Components, or good morning into the US, good afternoon into the APAC region.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, and today's topic is digital twins and simulation, the next level of production planning. And we are very looking forward that we can, welcome today today's speakers from Visual Components. And let's get started. And we really would like to have a lot of interaction with you at home, so you can also participate and interact with us.
Yes, we are happy to that you can reach out via questions and also that we have some polls there, and looking forward to the coming webinar.
And just to show you what you can expect in the next hour is like we will do some 40 minutes core topics where we'll explain our solution, and Matilda will also do some demos, so really directly in the systems, and then we will answer your questions, but we would really like to have them like just not after the core topics, really in the moment. So I show you later where you can key in your questions. And then there will be a bonus section, like we will be here until nobody else is in the webinar. So basically we don't have anything to do than staying here and answering your questions. Yeah. So let's show you the tool, how you can interact. So you have two options. Either you key in www.menti.com, and then you would have to key in this code. Or the alternative is you just scan this QR code with your phone. And for in order that everybody gets a little bit used to it, we have a first question for you. And the first question is, which department are you coming from?
Yes, it's very helpful for us to see from which department you are coming from. So because our solution is cover all these answers here. If you are from marketing, from sales, project engineering or engineering, and looking forward to see if there are differences to our webinar from today in the morning from a German webinar.
Yep.
That's really looking forward to see if there are differences.
Just go back to the credentials that you get used to it a little bit, and then we have a look. So,
it's the same like it is in the morning in the German webinar. The most participants are from the engineering departments, also marketing.
Yeah, and what this already shows is we had when we talked before the meeting that typically, for example, Matthias does a lot of presentation at the beginning of the cooperation with the salespersons of the machine builders. And probably this is a sign that you will also get the record of the webinar just to share this video to the other departments.
Yes, thank you for this, Wolfgang. It's really, we are happy if we can share it with your sales colleagues, colleagues from the project engineering or virtual commissioning. So let's see what's going on.
Cool. So thank you that you participate and just keep going. And in the tool, if you look in the tool, you also see the Q&A section down below. So in this screenshots, it's a little bit German. Maybe you learn a little bit German today, but it's the Q&A section where you just key in the questions, and my colleague will then later ask your questions live in the webinar. Yeah, but before we get started, first we would like to introduce ourselves, and please that you get started with what is Visual Components and what kind of problems do you solve?
Yes, Visual Components is one of the leading factory simulation tools on the market. We solve problems from the first factory layout building through the simulation where you get all your KPIs out of it, and also solve problems or questions from virtual commissioning. At least also we can solve or we can do offline program our robots, which we use in our layouts, so we can bring the offline program from visual components directly to your robots, different styles, ABB, KUKA, Yaskawa, and so on.
Cool. So you as a person?
Yes, I forgot it. Sorry for
Comes
that. So my name is Matthias Wilhelm. I'm with Visual Components since 5 years now, always in the sales department, and since the mid of last year I'm leading here the German department of Visual Components, who is based in Munich. And with me is my dear colleague Mathilde.
Hi, I'm Mathilde Combier, so I'm working at Visual Components in the Munich office in Germany, and I'm application engineer, so I'm more on the technical side, dealing with demos, trainings, support, consulting.
Yeah, we'll show you later directly in the solution a lot of cool stuff.
Okay, so now it comes a bit deeper in our solution, because why we are partnership with CADENAS. So we bring with Visual Components for the last years also our own e-catalog to our customers. In this e-catalog we have more than 3,000. Right now we have, I think, 3,600 ready-to-use components which you can use for your layout directly via plug and play, and bring it simply to your layout, simulate these components in the 3D world. And that's because we want to extend our e-catalog with this really great catalog from CADENAS, and we will show you later how does it works. Okay, a few words about Visual Components. We are founded in 1999 from 3 colleagues from Finland, or 2 colleagues from Finland, one from the US. So our headquarter is based in Espoo by Helsinki, but we do have subsidiaries all over the world. You can see here in the American, for the American people, and North and South American. So we have also an office in the US. We have an office in Sweden for the northern countries. As well, we have a really new office built up 2 weeks ago in Japan. And last but not least, our office here in Munich for the DACH region, for the German-speaking region here in Europe. So we are dealing directly with our customers and prospects, and in addition we have also more than 40 such named as value-added resellers all over the world who bring our solutions to the global customers and prospects.
So Visual Components is very international, and also the audience of today is very international. So maybe just key in the chat, in the QA section, the country you are coming from. Would just be very interesting and then we will just mention some countries, as this solution is very international. But let's have a look at some figures.
Yes, some figures about our income. As you can see here, since 2009, the growth is nearly about around 20%. So you can see also our employees. The most employees are based in Finland because our development is here in Finland, marketing and so on. And in the US, Germany, Sweden, Japan, it's mostly sales and sim experts, application engineers who are working there. And I want to cover here some milestones that we had in the past. So, as I said, we are founded in 1999, and 2005 was another milestone for us because we built up here our first solution who is fully created in 3D. So our customers can full work in a 3D environment, and in 2016 we released our new release 4.0. Right now we are in the release 4.10, and I can tell you, so in this year, around the Automatica trade show, we will also release or announce our new release, which will have a 5 in front of. So we will go to the release 5.xx. And another milestone in 2017 was that we are fully acquired by KUKA. So KUKA, the reason of that is, I don't know if you know this robot offline program from KUKA. It's called KUKA Sim, and KUKA Sim is based since 2003. Is based on visual components. So it was a logical step that we was acquired by KUKA. In 2022, we also acquired a partner of us, Delphi. The solution of Delphi are mainly in the offline programming system for welding systems, for spraying systems, and so on. And these products are now named in our portfolio as robotics OLP products. And last but not least, in 2023, we stepped into a joint venture with Mitsubishi Electric, a company named Melco, where we also distributed our visual components and OEM product via Melco, via Mitsubishi, in the APAC region and all over the world.
So KUKA is coming from Augsburg.
Yes.
Today's webinar is coming from Augsburg. Is a productive city, seems to be.
Productive and really, so the weather is great today. In March here we have sunny weather, so perfect to stay in Augsburg.
And to do a webinar. Next page would be your partners.
Yes, some logos from our partners. Maybe you can find here some partners which you worked also. So it's our newest partner. You see it in the right upper corner. So it's CADENAS, but it's also Yaskawa, it's KUKA, it's NVIDIA, because we have an Omniverse connection there. But there are also partners like Dualis, one of our biggest partners all over the world, what we have here. And the next slide, who will show our customers. So big names, also smaller names, but you also see here DHL, Volvo, so Accufent in the agriculture industry is here, Fronius, Samsung, Midea, really big names, but I can tell you also small and medium customers has many of our visual components licenses in use, but and we will come to the next. So Wolfgang, it's up to you.
Very briefly, you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm responsible at CADENAS for all the international partnerships, like the one we implemented with visual components. And what is CADENAS basically doing? So we help manufacturers from mechanical, electrical, and architectural field to bring their models, their products into a 3D format that can be consumed by multiple CAD and simulation programs. So the cooperation with visual components was just a logical step in order to bring our models that are not only geometry, as we can see here. So our models are also consist out of geometry, but also information. And we display the information, for example, like here, with kinematics informations. And that's just a perfect fit, as Visual Components is one of the leading software companies that are that really can take this data and can produce really great insights for example, shop floor planning. So basically, if a manufacturer starts with CADENAS, in the end he can export more than 120 formats, can bring it to the CAD environment, but also can bring it to the simulation environment, where we have on the right top corner also Visual Components, as from our perspective one of the leading software houses. Here also some logos from our customers, so mainly manufacturers. And yeah, Matthias, we found out we have a lot of them in common.
Yes, we have really common customers when I'm thinking about Omron, when I'm thinking about also Fränkische Industrie pipes, yes, based here in Germany. Also when I see Keba from Austria,
I'm Austrian,
yeah, you are Austrian.
Good
so
that we
have also, and Bosch Rexroth as well. It's also one of our really one biggest and no-named customer.
So there are multiple reasons why it's a perfect fit, but we will show you the real benefits just in a second. And saying that the existing visual e-catalog, of course, it's not a competition what is better. It's really just that we complete the already existing solution with, you have 3,600 very good working native models inside, and we just bring another, I don't know the exact number, it's billions of article numbers to the users. And having that said, that we start at the moment, we will see that later, with geometry, but later, and this is our plan, also kinematics information will be directly transported to visual components. And so let's say we go from, we are red at the moment, yellow is our goal to bring this midterm, but you also see the green information like carbon footprint and all the other information that are more and more demanded on the market shall be transported to the software in future.
Yes, because you have to have visions and missions for the future, so we have more steps to go.
So now my colleague Gina from the from our back office, not back office, let's say from our management team here from the webinar, has a first question, I think.
Yes, hello, so I'm Gina, and the first question is, does the CADENAS catalog already have to be populated with kinematics informations to bring data to visual components?
Yes, as Wolfgang showed, not now, but we are working now for a next step where we also bring kinematics, who is included in CADENAS products, that we will bring into the visual components catalog. But right now we have a static import, but after a minute we will show you how does it looks like when we kinematic these components, static components. It's really easily to do, and I think for first step it's a perfect thing to do.
As you said, it's basically we just want to drop as many parts as possible that you really find everything you need from a geometrical perspective, and in future we will enhance this more and more.
Yeah.
So now you ask us a question, now we ask you again a question. So our next question to you would be, and I already start here the survey, do you already know the Visual Components catalog or the CADENAS catalog?
Yeah. Or if you know both, or if you know no one from these catalogs. It's a really important question for us, that we can see the participants, yes, are you well known in our solution, in the CADENAS solution, or is it really a new thing for you?
So we'll have a look. So
okay, it starts really nice.
So we said it's no competition.
Yeah, it's only to compare, Wolfgang.
It's to compare. So yeah, we see there is even somebody who didn't know. So that's perfect that you now get to know it in this webinar. And yeah, thank you for participating. And now in the next slides we will show you not only the Visual Components e-catalog where you find it, but also the new integration of CADENAS catalog. So let's see, our goal is that these numbers go up with this webinar.
Yeah.
And now I hand over first to you, Matthias, because now we do a very interesting section and have a look live into the software.
Yes. We want to first give you an overview of our solution. So we start really early, really often in the sales department, where salespeople are creating with our solution a first factory layout design to the customers. And with that, your sales offer is really much more worthwhile than you are only bringing 2D drawings or maybe Excels to your customers. And after that, we step into the engineering department, project department, where we bring in more analysis and KPI things into the simulation in the virtual world. And after that, the next step is mostly that we are going into the virtual commissioning part, what we can also do with solve with our solution. And last but not least, we can also do the robot offline programming and program the robot in our software and bring it to the robot in the shop floor. And how does this look like in a first overview? So Mathilde will give us a first look into the software.
Exactly. So you can see here in our software an example of automatic order picking system. Here on the right side we have 2 robotic cells where the robots are picking some products to set some orders in these boxes here. These boxes are delivered or transported by AGVs to this manual station here, where the workers are packaging all these orders, which are then going out. It's not just about visualization, it's also to check if everything will work. For example, you can see if your robot model will be able to pick every product you have here. You will be able to check if your warehouse or buffer is big enough for your needs, or also the utilization of all your resources. You can see, for example, in the background some statistics, and it's really useful to make the layout more efficient and to see what you can change to have the best result.
And as you can see here, we are working with resources like AGVs, AMRs. Resources also can be forklifts, can be human workers. And a question what's coming more and more often to our table is a request of how many AGVs I need to bring my products maybe from the buffer to the production. Is it 2? Do I need 2 or 3 or 5 AGVs? And I think each AGV is not really a thing. It costs a lot. So with that, with every AGV, you don't need. So you really save not time, so Wolfgang, but money. Yes, thank you.
Probably
That's
both.
what I'm missing. So sorry for that, but yeah, I'm not so fluent in English.
It comes.
Okay.
So I was very impressed by this, and it's really extremely important, I think, for this kind of projects to have this. May I ask, what is the alternative to that? So what would I do if I would not have visual components?
Yes, the most of our prospects who are asking this are working with CAD solutions, but CAD solutions are missing the thing of time. Yeah, you always have a 3D model and you have an overview of your layout, but what is missing is the simulation and the time. What does it need to bring a product via a conveyor, via an AGV from A to B? And also most of our prospects are working now with 2D drawings, Excel formats, PowerPoint, everything is really used.
Like Excel, that's interesting. Good. Probably it's hard, or I know from my experience that it's very important that for this kind of big projects you have to visualize a layout.
Yes, that's because in our name, visual components, so you can visualize it and you can work with components who are prepared for your layout, and you can bring it per plug and play in your layout, and you don't have to build it new in your maybe CAD system.
Okay, thank you. And we have a next question from
I have a question.
Okay.
The question is the software only available as a subscription?
Yes, good question. Thank you for that. So yes, we have subscription license models, but we also have in place and already have in place also perpetual licenses, and we have also time-limited licenses in place. So it's up to our customers if he is more happy with a subscription model, with a perpetual model, or maybe with a time-limited model where you can solve, if you have a big income of projects, you can solve it maybe also with a time-limited license.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. And in reverse, we also have another question for our audience. In this case, basically, do you already have 3D simulation software in-house? So would it be a yes, yeah, you do it, or no, but you feel that the demand is rising, or yes, you do it, but with a different tool?
Okay, it starts really good. The demand is rising. Right answer. Okay. But most of the participants, let's see what happens. Only it is 5 answers.
Yeah. But I would see basically only, let's say, less than 20% says no and also has no need, and the rest is, however, already involved in it.
Right.
So that's interesting. Thank you. And now we come, let's say, the first perspective we have is for the users. So what's in for the users? And the second perspective we would like to have a look now is how can a manufacturer participate, and what are the benefits for a manufacturer? And here we would like to talk a little bit to have the engineer, the technician, let's say the user, is a new target group for manufacturers. And I think everybody in this webinar knows that the world in 2025 is that before, on the right side, something is built really physically, first it has to be planned digital, may it be 2D, 3D, or simulation-wise, because nobody will get started just on the shop floor to mount something. And let's say it was 2D, now it was 3D, and now simulation. So really the behavior, if you have enough resources for the task, is getting more and more important. And also, as we see here, the user, or let's say the person who is selecting the part, is the technician, and we would like to have a more detailed look at that. So if you now, for example, plan a big project and you think of solving a problem with a forklift or a conveyor belt, then this idea, what you're going to choose, which kind of technical solution you're going to choose, is always, the origin of that is always the CAD or the simulation program. So here we need to be aware that the real origin of the demand, of the product demand, is in the CAD and planning system. And now, as we see with the red arrow here, he goes with the demand to our database, for example, finds the right parts for his problems, and now the parts come into the planning system, and then the planning takes a while.
Yes, and that's because of the most parts are comes on in the planning side with the CAD and in the engineers. So for me, it's a win-win-win situation. It's a win for you as a customer that you can use these components who are directly in our e-catalog or in the CADENAS catalog. It's also a win for CADENAS if you use the components from the CADENAS catalog, and it's also at least a win for us.
And the manufacturer, even for people. So it's we have so many wins here.
Yeah.
And if the planning is finished now, there will be a bill of material. Let's say really a complete list of the components that you're gonna need, which is also first important for the whole project calculation. So what is the invest for the hardware? And also later, you see green is like saying the purchasing department will take this bill of material and then request the manufacturers who will be supplier of these projects. So what we're gonna want to say is that the planners and architects and technicians are really the origin of the product selection, and it's really worth to reach out to them. And basically, we discovered with one great survey we did, so we asked 280,000 engineers for their needs. And we found out, we have many engineers here in this meeting, that the demand of the technician is far more different than the demand of a commercial buyer or anybody else. And maybe here you can get the full report here, of course, but also some insights now. So what we see, what we ask them is, what is really important when you search for components? And of course, the software should be easy to use, like visual component software. But you see already that 65% said it's so important that my manufacturer, my supplier, has got, however, CAD files available.
Yeah. And normally this is really a problem for our customers if they are looking for 3D models from their suppliers. So they have to ask, do you have a 3D model? Is it possible that I can get this 3D model? Sometimes you need an NDA to getting this, and it takes time and time and time to get these 3D models. Then you import these 3D models. Sometimes there are too many exact things. What you don't need for the simulation is in the model, so you have to work on the 3D model, and it takes really a lot of time. And for me, it's also really nice thing to see here is that to get a 3D model, it must be simple and easy to use via our website or like our e-catalog. And that is really our credo. So to easy to use a simulation, easy to use components, easy to use the whole solution with plug and play. You don't need experts, CAD experts, to use our solution. After the first steps, when you go into the virtual commissioning, that's you need an expert. But in the first step, you don't need it. It's really easy to use.
We will see that later. Yeah. And another insight was, if a manufacturer you want to have, let's say, in your project does not offer CAD or BIM models, what you're going to do. And we found out only 20% will ask the manufacturer for data. The rest will either draw it on his own or just search for another supplier. And that's very dangerous, of course, for manufacturers. But the good information is manufacturers who work together with us, it's so easy, so convenient for the users, but also for the manufacturers to maintain the data. Yeah. Means if you have a new product today, we have it also in visual components today. So the time to market is very short. And here basically the good news is that 91% of the downloads even get bought in the end. So it's really worth to get planned or get used in the visual components software.
Yeah.
Now let's have a look. And now it gets really interesting because Mathilde will show us now how to plan with the visual components e-catalog and also how to use the new 3D integration.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm gonna start from empty layout and show a bit how we could build robotic cell, an easy robotic cell in the software, and then we can see how we can integrate the CADENAS catalog. So here you can see I only imported DWG file, so it's only a 2D plan, so I can see how much place I have to place my new robotic cell here. And I will use the components we have in the catalog, so all the ready-to-use components. We have some generic components and also from different manufacturers. So here for conveyors, for machines, we have also a lot of AGVs and a lot of robots from 60 different manufacturers. I will start with conveyors here to go in the new production area. And here I can really easily with drag and drop import my conveyor. So this one is a parametric conveyor. I can change all the dimensions here. So the length, width, height can make a bit smaller, for example. I can also change how it looks like. So here we have some choice to just have a different visual so that it looks a bit more realistic. Or I can here add some guide rails on the side. I will now place my conveyor at the end of my 2D plan here, and I can start adding some new one. For example, a curve here. Here we have this interface. That means I can really easily, with plug and play, put them together. It will help me position it correctly and also take all the properties I changed. Here I can go a bit further and interact with it. For my concept, it will be enough. Now I will import some other components from the catalog that I already prepared here. So it's 2 machines here and one robot in the middle. I would be able to use them in my simulation. Maybe add another conveyor on the side for the finished goods and make this one a bit longer. Now I have the choice, so I could either program my robot, teach all the position, etc. Or I could use an easy solution. So here you can see this controller will make all the process automatic. Here I will start by adding a feeder to create some products. So here you could use some other products from the catalog or also your own CAD files. Here now I will need some processes where the robot is going to pick the products on one side and place them on the other side. And now I just have to define what is my robot going to do. Here in the process tab with the flow, it's really easy. I just have to connect the point, said the robot is gonna work to transport the products here, and I can already play the simulation. So here you can see the first product going out. I will make the simulation a bit quicker here by adjusting the speed. So I don't need to program anything with this controller. It's really easy. So for the concept phase, I don't think we could make that quicker.
Yes, yeah, it's really easy to use, as you can see. Also at this step, you can bring out a robot offline program out of the robot and out of our solution. And at this step, so you can see we do not have a gripper on the robot, and we need a gripper to take the parts. And therefore, we will show you now how does it works with the CADENAS catalog.
Exactly. So we have some models in our e-catalog, but we can't have every existing model, and therefore it's we can use the CADENAS catalog to have a lot of more choice. So here I can find it in the modeling tab and open it. It's like a second catalog for us where you can find all your models. I can log in to also save the models I downloaded, and here I have a choice between more than 7,000 different manufacturers. So here I can go a bit further to find Festo, for example, which has a lot of different products, and also inside it some grippers. So here I will use this model of gripper. I can already see how it looks like, or I could also open it in the browser and have a bigger visibility and also see how big it is. So for example, here I notice it's a bit too small for what I want to do. So I could use another gripper when I scroll a bit further down. So I also have the possibility when I go on it to see all the dimensions here. So here I can see this one is big enough, and I can just import it like this. So it's not. It doesn't have a kinematic yet, so I'm gonna do this so I can connect it on my robot. The first thing I need to do is to define where the robot is where it's gonna be placed on the robot. So I'm just changing the orientation here, and now I can define the movement of the jaws. So here with a right click, I can say this side is a link. I can define how it's gonna move and which direction with a servo controller, and what will be the limits or also the speed. So here I'm gonna change it. On the other side it's the same. It's gonna move with the other one, the other direction, and with the same controller. Now it can already move here. What I need to do is define the behavior so that it can be used as an N vector. So here it's also really easy. I just have to select if I want to use it with signals or as an external axis in the robot, or I can also have both. And here I can define also which signals I could use. Just gonna apply it. And the last thing I need to define is where the TCP is gonna be placed, so where the robot is gonna grip the products. So here, and I can already use it. So here with plug and play, I'm gonna be able to connect it on my robot, and I can already use it. So here with the first products coming in.
Yeah, so here you can see how easy it is really to kinematic products what we imported from the CADENAS catalog. In this first step, when we only get a static 3D model, but in the next steps we are working on it that also the kinematic models we can import with the whole kinematic. Yeah. And while I am talking, Mathilde will build up some new things like a fence, bring it into these layout, and then we will extend the layout also with manual working stations and a buffer. It's a really small robotic cell or production cell, but when you have the material flow here between the robotic cell with different machines and also with manual workers and a shelf, so it's not easy to see what are the how it is with the tact side.
Let's say the sequence.
No.
The production sequence?
Yeah, the production sequence, but Mathilde can help me with the right word. So it's
Cycle time?
the cycle time. Yes, I'm looking for this word. It is the cycle time, sorry for that. But yeah, you can see here the cycle time as well with our statistics, what we showed before. Mathilde will extend now the material flow to the manual workstations and the buffer. It's really easy to extend that, and it's easy fast, simple, and it shows a really good and big and good outcome.
And really impressive how quick this was. And as a manufacturer, I think everybody will see how interesting it would be that you are in that early planning stage involved, because later we will get, we will know that you also can phone up now the planner who did it in order to maybe consult him that he really stays with your components and does not go for another one. So really great integration here.
Yeah.
Good. And as Matthias already told, and as we stated at the beginning, is we start now with the geometry, but more and more we will enhance the data that the very easy to do kinematics, adding what Mathilde did, doesn't even appear. So first we save time that you don't have to draw it, and we also work on it saving time adding the kinematics.
Yeah. But there are more questions, I think so.
Yeah.
There are a lot of questions. The first one is, to the best of your knowledge, what are the main strengths of visual components compared to its competitors, for example, industrial physics of Siemens MCD?
Okay, so I can tell you in the DACH region we have 3 competitors here, and the first one is the question mentioned is Siemens MCD, and it's the last one is Siemens MCD. But compared to this, I don't know how does it work in different in competitive solutions. But what I can say here is, so visual components look at the competitors if they can do it so easy and fast with our as it is with our solution. Also, I think to compare the price to many of our competitors, we have a really good price sensitive model here on the market, and also look at your competitors if they have also such a big catalog of what we bring with us with our e-catalog, and in addition now with a CADENAS catalog.
So the only benefit MCD from my perspective had is that they had the CADENAS catalog on board, but now it's the same here.
Okay, so the next question is the CADENAS plugin included in all VC packages?
Oh yeah, thank you for this question. So we have 3 packages coming with visual components. It's called Essentials, it's the basic package. Professional, it's a middle package, and Premium is our highest package. And the CADENAS integration comes with the Professional, as I said, the middle package, and it's also included in the Premium package. But also, if there are users out there who used or who have in use now the Essentials package, you can easily upgrade this Essentials package to a Professional, and with that you can also use the CADENAS catalog, and it comes without additional costs. It's included in the costs of a Professional or a Premium license.
Okay, so I guess the next question is a little bit like the first one. Is the CADENAS plugin an add-on, and if so, what does it cost?
Okay, yeah. As I said, no, it's not a plugin. It comes with our license, Professional and Premium, without additional costs. It's included in the costs of the Professional and Premium license.
Okay, and the last question is, what is the process for importing the CADENAS 3D Find It add-on into VC?
What is the process?
I think I can answer that.
Yeah.
It's already there. So the button is already there. So you don't have to download anything, unless you would have to help me if you have a version 4.8 or something.
Yes, okay, yes. You need the version 4.10, so the CADENAS integration comes with our release 4.10. So you need at least this release, but all our customers with a valid maintenance, you can easily upgrade to the version 4.10. And the only thing you need to do is that you need to have a login on the 3D Find It catalog.
Yeah.
And when you log in the first time, after that it's it's easily, and you have it in the product.
Great. Thank you for your questions. And yeah, we already stated this. This is getting better and better, of course. And also when it comes to the real, let's say, content on 3D Find It, we have over 7,000 manufacturers. But even if we are the biggest search engine for engineering data in the world, maybe sometimes something is missing you search for. And if you go to 3dfindit.com, for example, you search for a conveyor, and this is what you find, and you say, okay, it's not the real thing I'm looking for, I want something else. And you really don't find it, then you here on the left side, there is a button where you can just request content. So you can either select now categories like actuators, air filters, cables, cabinets, or I choose conveyors. And then you could choose, I want the whole conveyor, let's say, category, which means 87 manufacturers are inside. Or you can just say, okay, I just want to have like one specific conveyor manufacturer because I have it maybe in my ERP system. So you can also request content in future.
Yeah.
So in order to get you the real database you need. And that brings us to our next question. And what is the next question, Matthias?
Yeah, it's a really important question for us. So what are you looking for? Yeah. So if you are thinking about a component and the catalog from CADENAS and also from Visual Components, what are you looking for? Is it more parts around the robotic automation side? Are you looking more for parts for conveyor technologies, or parts around the workplace, complete machines maybe, or all the other things, all the other stuff? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what comes out of here.
So what are you up to? What is in your daily planning is the most important?
So parts around robotics, it's look like the same as it was in the morning here in the European, in the DACH, the German webinar.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes more and more question. Complete machines,
Mm-hmm.
parts around the workplaces, also nice to see. Yeah. And with that, I want to mention, so next week we will have here in Germany a really nice trade show. It's called Logimat. If you want to have or want to know different things what you can't see here in the webinar, or you have deeper questions, so please visit us in Stuttgart at the Logimat trade show. We will be there, and we will be happy to support you.
Great, but thank you for attending. It's very interesting, and we just use our feedback program to give us more feedback if you want to have it more detailed. Like you say, okay, machine is a wide range. If you look for a specific machine builder, you can even tick it there and send this to us. Now we come to a very important topic. It's statistics and lead generation for manufacturers. So as I already said, Visual Components, or let's say as a manufacturer, your parts are always spread to all relevant CAD and simulation programs. So it's also very easy to maintain the catalog and to spread this information. And whenever somebody now in the CAD system or also in Visual Components wants to download something, he needs to be logged in. So for a user, this is not a big effort. It's just a one-time registration, and then you are logged in always. But for the manufacturer, it's a very interesting thing because we track who is planning what. You can use it for marketing, for sales, for analysis, that you know, okay, in specific areas, this gripper seems to be more interesting. And as a manufacturer, you can even bring it to your CRM and give this information to salespersons. And so that's very important that we give the manufacturer this information back. Yeah, and the last very interesting tool we got is, so what I would really say, as a machine builder, you should really introduce visual components to a lot of people, because it really saves a lot of time.
Yeah. And also, as we see at the beginning, a lot of engineers and project people are now here in the webinar, but bring this information also to your colleagues out of the sales department or out of the project department.
And now if you think, okay, maybe it's not a good idea because I create duplicates, which can be because multiple users create multiple, or let's say download the same, and they don't know each other, that they download it and they then create an ERP number, and that's a lot of effort. Don't worry, we have a system in place that really tells you that your colleague already downloaded this part and even suggests this part to you in order your company. And doesn't matter if you sit in the US, you also get the information from Japan, for example. So that the core message is don't hold back to introduce visual components in a wider range. We have solutions in place that also you can coordinate with more licenses. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, I think we come to the typical use cases, and also we can do a summary like here. So what are the typical use cases for our customers and prospects? So we deliver two different solutions to the market, but they are combined in one solution. So we can solve a use case coming from the most manufacturers, where you have a material flow, where you will build up a factory layout from your whole factory or only from simple cells. And with that, you can easily design, optimize, and validate your processes and your layouts on a really flexible and scalable platform. So it's really, it's not ideal also for the professionals, also for your sales people. You can use it at any level in your department. And our other solution is also built on visual components, is a robot offline programming, where you can build your robot offline programs and bring it to your robots when you are using or working with welding cells, with spraying cells, something like that. So it helps really to bring the process from complexity to a really easy to use solution at this point.
One thing I want to add is in the manufacturing simulation, it's really so important in big project that you visualize the project, because often the investors who are not technicians need to see what it will be and how it works.
Yeah. So visual and components, so both are really important for the people in the management because they can't read an Excel file or sometimes a 2D drawing. They are not technicians, and so they want to make decisions on numbers and what they see.
Great. So now in the end we have some promotion for you, and first of all we would like to invite you to a feedback section.
We have built up a feedback session for you, really an easy form. It's around 5-6 questions, what we are asking for. Do you like the webinar? What comes out for you from the webinar? Do you need more informations? You can click every answer, so you don't have so much effort to answer this form. So please use this form and give us a feedback for our next webinars.
And also, we don't want to get you only to know in webinars, we also want to meet you physically. And Matthias already said you are next week, you are on the Logimat in Stuttgart.
Yes, right. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure which webinars or which trade shows we play in the US or in the APEC region. But please have a look on our website, visualcomponents.com, and you can see all our webinars and trade shows, what we will do in the next time around the world.
And who is around? Probably Munich. We have our CADENAS event on the 25th and 26th of March, where visual components will also be a big part of it with a big presentation, and also you can do direct contact with them. And we offer 5 free tickets if you just send an email to marketing@cadenas.de, and then you are invited to participate to our event.
Okay, so we are just in time.
Almost.
Almost.
Depends a little bit how many questions are.
Yes, but we are.
Got a lot of questions.
Yeah, perfect.
So the first question is, do some components of the CADENAS library already contain kinematic informations for further simulation? For example, the movement of the jaws of the gripper we have seen a moment ago.
Yeah, it's not a question of if we already got the information. So many manufacturers, as we see here, already... Oh, we don't see here? Okay, so then I just make it... many manufacturers already maintain simulation in their catalog, but at the moment we don't transport it over the interface. But we really work on that, and it's coming. I cannot say when, but I think we already received this feedback a second time.
Yeah.
So
we have to work on it.
So thank you for your feedback, and we will introduce this soon.
Okay, so the next question is it possible to import our 3D models, for example an equipment, to the software, or should we work with the components that are already provided by the platform?
For sure, it's possible that you bring your own components into the Visual Components e-catalog. So, and I think it's also possible to import it into the CADENAS catalog. If you want to import it in the e-catalog, you can build your own catalog, what you can use only in your company. But it's also possible if you want to have it in our global open catalog, we can also import it in our e-catalog. So we can raise up from 3,600 maybe to 4,000 next year.
Or if you go to 3D Find It, there is a section that is called My Catalog, My Content. And it's like YouTube. You just upload a file, step file, it's getting uploaded. You can decide who can see it, and also if Visual Components can see it. So you can also easily just upload a file, and then it's directly in Visual Components, or you can even add it to your website as a 3D preview. So here it's the best, I think, to talk to one of us how it can be done.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, and the next question, is the CADENAS catalog also available to existing customers?
Yes, as I said before, if you have a valid maintenance with your Visual Component software, it's easily, you have to upgrade to the release 4.10, and if you hold a professional or a premium license, you are also can use these CADENAS integration. If you use a Essentials package, so we can talk about how does it looks like to upgrade it to a professional license.
Okay, perfect. And the next question, is it possible to have the 3D models connected in real time with a physical part, enabling the real-time visualize and monitoring? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So in this case, I think we are talking about virtual commissioning. Yeah, and for sure this is possible, but it has to. We have to take a deeper look in what do you want to bring into really a physical world. So come or send us a message via our website. Or get in touch with my colleagues from US, from Japan, from Sweden, from Finland, and also with us, and we can discuss this a bit deeper with you, how we can solve this question.
Okay, and in the chat was asked, can I import an OBJ file of a complete 3D factory layout in Visual Component that I have created on another software and then have simulations?
So the simple answer is yes. So we can import OBJ files, object files, and if it is a whole factory layout, so sometimes it makes more sense to bring it into Visual Components in different pieces or in sections. Yeah, but for sure it's possible to import object files into Visual Components.
Okay, and the last question. I have a premium VC license. Do I just need to create a free 3D Find It account to start using the catalog?
If you don't have one yet, then that will be the only task. Yeah, it's for free. So that's really important. If you have a subscription on 3D Find It, you don't pay anything for any download. It's just covered with your maintenance with the Visual Components.
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
Great. So thank you. That was really great interaction with you. And in this moment, I would like to say thank you very much to Mathilde for this great technical presentation, and to Matthias for the great explanations.
Thanks for having us. Thanks to participants to watching our webinar.
Yeah, and thank you at home for watching, and we'll be in touch hopefully on a trade show or on any other event, digital event. And of course also thank you for the team who helped us, and yeah, looking forward and hope that you soon participate and use the benefits we showed you today.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Thank you very much.